The queen, Alara of Windspire, rode through the dense forest on her white steed, her golden crown gleaming in the filtered sunlight. She was alone but unafraid, as the woods had always been her sanctuary. Suddenly, a low growl emerged from the shadows. Before Alara could react, a massive lion leaped onto the path, its amber eyes locking onto hers. Alara's steed reared, throwing her to the ground. The lion circled her, its mane bristling, as though testing her resolve. The lion growled and lunged at Alara. She raised her arm to defend herself, but instead of tearing flesh, the beast's paw swiped at the crown. As the crown tumbled from her head, it emitted a strange, silvery glow. The lion froze, its eyes widening in recognition. Then, with an eerie roar, it clamped its jaws around the crown. Alara watched in shock as the lion transformed, its body swelling with power. A glowing chain emerged from the crown and wrapped around Alara's wrist, binding her to the lion. "You are mine now," the lion spoke, its voice a deep rumble. "Until you prove yourself worthy." Alara pulled at the chain, but it was unyielding. "Let me go," she demanded, her voice trembling with frustration. The lion tilted its head. "You think freedom is given? It is earned." Determined not to be a captive, Alara devised a plan. As the lion led her deeper into the woods, she pretended to stumble, grabbing a sharp rock. Later that night, while the lion rested, she tried to cut through the chain, but the rock shattered, and the chain remained intact. The lion opened one eye, cunning, but futile. The lion brought Alara to a raging river. "Cross it," the beast commanded. She hesitated, noting the violent current and sharp rocks below. "I cannot swim against that," she protested. The lion growled, the chain pulling her forward. "The Queen of Windspire fears the water?" Alara gathered her courage and waded into the icy river. The current pulled at her gown and nearly swept her away. She clawed at the rocks, her hands bleeding, but managed to reach the other side. The lion followed effortlessly. Better, but not enough. Exhausted, Alara was led to a dark cavern. Inside, glowing eyes peered from the shadows. The lion sat at the entrance, blocking her escape. "This is your next test," it said. "Retrieve what lies within." Alara stepped inside, trembling. Creatures darted around her, whispering in voices that made her skin crawl. At the center of the cavern was a pedestal holding a silver orb. As she reached for it, shadowy hands grabbed at her. "No!" she screamed, swinging her dagger wildly. Summoning every ounce of courage, she grabbed the orb and fled. Emerging from the cavern, Alara thrust the orb toward the lion. "Here, I've done what you asked." The lion gazed at her, its amber eyes softening. "This orb represents your fear. By facing it, you have proven your strength." The chain around her wrist glowed brighter, then shattered. Alara stumbled back, free at last. "But why bind me in the first place?" she demanded. The lion transformed into a regal figure, a man with a crown of his own. "You are destined to lead not just Windspire, but all the realms. You needed to learn courage." With her newfound wisdom, Alara returned to Windspire. She ruled with a fierceness and compassion that earned her the love of her people. Tales of her struggle spread, inspiring others to face their own fears. As for the lion, its roar was heard in the woods only by those who sought their true strength.